What is up, YouTube? Teddy here, and today I am coming at you guys with what I personally think is the best formation slash tactics that you can run in FIFA at the moment that can help you get those few extra wins, whether it's weekend league or in rivals. Now, personally for me, this formation and the tactics that I figured out has pretty much helped me go from a gold 1 to an elite 3 FIFA player. For me, this formation just has everything, whether it's defending the ridiculous counterattacks with through balls this year because it is a 5-back. I feel very comfortable with that. And then going forward as well, I feel like I have options because it's pretty much an attacking 5-back formation. So this formation for me is literally just perfect on both ends of the pitch. And with that being said, let's get straight into the custom tactics. I have it on my ultra defensive one. We have the 5-3-2 formation. Now for my tactics, I have press after possession loss. I think almost any formation that you guys run, you should have this. It's honestly ridiculous this year. It is stupid overpowered, and I've found it really doesn't hurt your stamina that much, so I highly recommend you put press after possession loss on. I like being kind of tight, so I have it on 4. I don't like being too spread out on defense. And then for depth, I run 7 depth on my 5-back formation. It is a cheat code. It's basically an automatic offsides trap. You're not inviting the attack into your box. You are constantly pressing his attackers and making it hard for them, basically. So in my opinion, the 7 depth is pretty important, especially since it's a 5-back. You can afford to kind of push forward a little bit. Moving on to offense, you can go long ball. I've messed around with it. I kind of like just manually making my players do the runs, so I don't have long ball on. Width, I have on 5. I don't even think I changed it. Players in the box, I like it like this one. I just look at the image, so I put it on 5. Corners, 3. I'm actually gonna move my free kicks to 2 because I hate free kicks. Unless I shoot it, I don't want any defenders in the box, so I'm actually gonna put that on 2. And then formation, just to kind of show you how I line it up, we have obviously the 2 strikers, we have 2 midfielders. I usually run 3, so the balance is a tiny bit off. You could possibly run a 5-2-1-2 if you wanted to, and I'll stick to Pi at cam, but I don't mind it. It doesn't run terrible. I like how the formation is set up with it. So Depay is there to stay. I am thinking about doing the Aouar SBC and then binning Mbappe and playing Depay at striker. So with time, we'll see how this team ends up lining up. Now let's get into the juicy bit, the instructions. We are going to look at our strikers first. We have stay central on both of them, stay forward on both. I'm actually supposed to have one of these as get in behind. And then Neymar, one of your strikers. In my opinion, if you ever run a 2-striker formation, you should always have one as a false 9. You can also mess around with the defensive support. You could make it basic or come back on defense, depending on how far back you want that one striker coming back on D and creating space. But the main reason why we do this is because you have 2 strikers. You want one to kind of come back and receive the ball. That's what the false 9 is doing for me. If you want it to come back even more, you can make it balanced attack or come back on defense. But it's really simple. One striker will come towards you. He'll receive the ball. You can do the quick little 1-2 pass through ball. And then if they don't defend it correctly, you have a simple through ball and you're through on goal. It is stupid overpowered. And in my opinion, if you run a 2-striker formation, you must run a false 9 on at least one of the strikers. Now, moving on to the midfield, the really key part is one midfielder is on get forward, the central one is on stay back while attacking, and then the other one is just balanced. So balanced, stay back while attacking, and get forward, and then it's cover center on all of them, and that's pretty much it. Also, interceptions, you'll notice I like conservative interceptions because I don't like the AI pulling my players out of position, trying to be aggressive and intercepting the ball. I don't want them pulling my players out of position because then if it leaves a gap, you're screwed. Now, moving on to the left back and right back, we have join the attack, conservative, again, like I just mentioned, and overlap. Same thing on the other side. So basically, your left back and right back are pretty much wingers. They are constantly going forward and coming back non-stop. with that being said, you are going to have to sub these guys off around the 60th to 70th minute, depending on how much stamina you have. I know Davies, I always have to sub him off around like the 65th constantly. For me personally, I really enjoy when I bring my subs on, because for Davies, I am subbing on, I usually bring on Lucas Vasquez, and then for Atal, I bring on Cuadrado. So it's just two really ridiculous players that are just fresh legs, constantly going up the pitch and coming back. But yeah, that is pretty much my tactics that brought me from being a gold 1 to nearly a consistent elite 3 FIFA player. Obviously, I do run a couple other formations, but that 5-3-2 is always my go-to. Obviously, if you guys want, you can go in and mess around with the tactics to better suit your gameplay. Like maybe you don't want the 7 depth because you don't want your defenders constantly doing an offside trap. You want them to kind of sit back and invite the pressure, which I absolutely hate doing. I hate having them in my box and constantly, I don't know, doing quick skill moves or dribbling. Another tip I guess I could give with the formation is quite an obvious one. Just make sure your team is balanced. Obviously, I have 3 players that can play center back. I have my left back and right wing back that can also go forward. I like that they can shoot as well. That's why I have the Atal and the Davies. I do need to upgrade to the Team of the Year Davies, but the shooting is pretty big. I score quite often with my left back and right back because they just don't sometimes expect you going forward so much with them. And then with the midfielders, you can run one midfielder and have the left center mid and right center mid go forward and attack quite often. But I like having at least 2. Having at least 2 midfielders, I think, is a bit more safe. You won't feel as wide open getting attacked. But because it is a 5-back, it's not a necessity to have at least 2 midfielders. You can rock 1 in the center. But yeah, I hope this tactics video helped you guys out. I hope it can help you get that extra win. If you want to go for gold 2, gold 3, whatever it is you are pushing for, I hope it gives you guys those extra 1, 2, maybe even 3 wins. If you have any questions about the formation, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. If you also want to see how I play with this formation live, make sure you follow me on Twitch. I stream pretty much every single day. I'll have the link in the description down below. If you want more content like this and want to see my other tactics for the other formations I have, make sure you like this video and hit that subscribe button. And that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.